It's Ranice and Sean. Thank you for tuning in. We are creating this video because we have such great news.
Yes.
Drum roll, please. Our good news is that we have started the process of, how am I saying it? I feel like I just took, drum roll, please. We are starting the process of adoption. Woo, woo, woo. So super excited. We have a lot to share about this process. So if you wouldn't mind sharing this journey with us, please subscribe so that we could tell you all about the process and you can share this journey with us. We definitely want to be able to assist anybody that's going through this process of adoption.
Absolutely.
What?
No, I'm saying absolutely. Just we want to help couples like ourselves who are interested in expanding their family and sharing their home with a loving child. So
yes.
We're excited about that. Yes, we are.
In February 2021, February 22, 2021, Sean and I did get married in the midst of the COVID. We didn't have a wedding, unfortunately, because of COVID, but February 2023, no.
The very next day, okay, I'll make it simple.
Thank you.
Last year, February 22nd, 2021, Ranice and I, we got married.
Yes.
The very next day,
yes,
we closed on our first home.
Yes.
So we are super excited. We have almost made it a year. Mm-hmm. And we're just continuing to enjoy being newlyweds.
Mm-hmm. In our new home. Mm-hmm. And we bought this particular home because of the bedrooms. We have 5 bedrooms, and one of the rooms is dedicated for our special child. Long story short, I don't have any children. Sean does have a child. He's actually not a child. He's a grown man. He's a grown man. But Sean knew, which is why I love him so much. He knew coming into a relationship with me that I was not going to be able to have children. And maybe that's a video that I would share with women or anybody who's interested in knowing, but mostly women. Being a Black woman, suffering with fibroids, having surgeries after surgeries until, I had the final surgery. So maybe I will share that in a video so that, we all can maybe have a discussion and that if you are going through these situations, you're not the only one. So
yeah, so we made a conscious
yes,
decision. So
you.
A lot of us were looking at like, it's just you guys, you're not having any kids. Why do you need 5 bedrooms? But Ranice and I, we knew going into this that we were going to expand our family. We were going to share our love with kids that have not been as fortunate as we have. We have a lot of love to give, a lot of knowledge, a lot of inspiration that we're willing to share. We are so excited about this process, and we want to bring you guys along for the journey. This is something that we have talked about nearly 6 years since we started dating.
Yes,
like, did we want to have kids? Are we open to adopting? Are we open to fostering? So all of these different options are some of the things that we talked about. And my lovely wife is one who's not known to just sit and rest, and watch things go by.
Nope.
She's been on it. So not even a year into our marriage, we're already looking to expand our family, and we have started the adoption process.
Yes. The process is not easy. So we was trying to figure out, which way we wanted to go. If we wanted to go with DSS, or if we wanted to go with a private adoption agency. And so looking at, for me, not ever being a mom, I know, of course, if you are with child, you're going to get some assistance from family members. You're going to have a lot of conversations with maybe friends or family members telling you what to expect. I don't have that. So I'm brand new to everything. And not only am I brand new to everything, but we're adopting a child probably most likely with some type of trauma. And so not wanting to be, I guess, so inexperienced, I feel like I need all the help along the way dealing with a child with some type of trauma. So how we decided on a adoption agency, my aunt, she actually sent me a video of a young boy who was on the news from Child Home Society, CHS, and for adoption. And I was like, I want him. Like, what do we have to do to get this young boy in our home? He was super sweet. Well, on TV, he was super sweet. And so we called CHS, and the lady was like, so many people are calling, and I was so happy, but we haven't started the process, so we wouldn't have been able to adopt this young man. But from that call, she sent us a link to the application. And so from that link, we had to fill out the application. And that application, no, the application was fine. It was after the application. The questionnaire was after the application. So the application, they ask a lot of questions. They ask, background information.
Yeah.
Did I have to submit her? I think I had to submit a pay stubs. Our driver's
bank
license.
Account? Bank account
but
information?
it was bank account information. Our driver's license information, and then we had to take a picture of our home, the outside of the home. What other questions it was? I think it wasn't a generic application, but it was really detailed. They wanted to know who is planning on adopting these children.
Yeah, so from what I can remember, they wanted to know answers about our income, our assets, our insurance policies, our retirement plans.
Yes.
So they are really trying to vet us to make sure that we are, suitable to raise a
child.
kid. Yeah.
I at first with with all these questions, I felt like they were being a little bit intrusive, because I was like, why do you need to know about my retirement plan and my insurance policies? But I get it. If you have your own child, you are going to have insurance. You are going to have some type of savings account, so that your child, if anything was to happen to you, the child will be taken care of. But I just felt like, dang on, I mean, it's just the application. I felt like they could get all that information, once we are really, I don't know.
Yeah, it just seemed like a bit much on the front end. I think that's what Ronnie's trying to say.
It was a bit much, but we went through the process anyway. So after we filled out the application, we got an email thanking us and telling us that we have been assigned a case manager, and she will contact us. And within that email was a questionnaire that they wanted to fill out. Ooh. This questionnaire opened up my eyes completely to what type of child goes through the system. One thing, just slightly rewind, Sean is a twin. He has a twin brother. And I always wanted to have twins. It's just how we just connected, and I just felt like, he's the man I'm gonna birth twins out of.
Twins.
But yeah, didn't happen. So two things. On my way back from South Africa, I was sitting next to a young lady, and we just started talking. She was beautiful. We just had a great conversation. She's real spiritual, and she was like, "You're gonna have twins." And in my mind, I'm like, "You don't know what's going on with my body. Like, I'm going through some things." And she was like, "No, I just feel that you're gonna have twins." Last year, 2021 summer, was it 2021 summer? No. It was just recently, Missy Lane, when she was here. I think it was like towards maybe Thanksgiving. She was like, "My niece, I just feel like you got twins all over you." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Well, maybe it's because my husband is a twin." She was like, "Oh, yes, I didn't know that. But no, that's not it. It's you." So now I'm feeling like this questionnaire that they provided us, they ask, what child would you like to have, pretty much? Would you like to have a set of siblings? Would you like a set of twins? And I said yes and yes, so hopefully that we could adopt some twins. But they do ask if you want newborn. They do ask if what type of ethnicity,
gender,
age, of course. And I think for me, I wouldn't mind a teenager because my thought is I want somebody that's able to put a hot pocket in the microwave, wash themselves, and clean their own butt. I'm older now. I don't know.
But you've missed out on so much. What you think?
I mean, yeah, but but not really. I've never. I don't know. I'm not. I don't feel excited to wipe a newborn's butt. Like I don't.
You don't want to get up at 2:00 in the morning and make a bottle?
No, that's the thing. I think I've surpassed that, and I'm not there yet. So my ideal age, if it's not a teenager, would be somewhere between 5 and 8.
I agree.
Okay. Yes. We agree to that. So I want someone that's able to say when they're hungry, when they want to go outside and play. I need the communication.
Fix some cereal early on Saturday mornings,
Yeah. We can all sit down and watch cartoons in the morning time. That's what I'm thinking. I don't want to be, scared out of my wits because I hear a baby crying in the middle. That's not gonna work for me. And in addition, our house, our master bedroom is downstairs. So all of the guest bedrooms and all the other bedrooms is upstairs. So having a newborn baby, that means we would have to move upstairs and move the baby in our bedroom. Yeah, I'm not really trying to do that. So a 5 to 8 year old is definitely ideal. Mm-hmm. So now back to the questionnaire. The questions that they ask, we felt like we were really bad people because they had absolutely will adopt, willing to discuss, and will not consider. At first, everybody wants their child to be perfect. Even if you're pregnant, you want your child to be all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Mm-hmm. You want them to see, hear, speak. That's everybody's, prayer. And so I think for us, filling out this questionnaire, we was saying, will not consider to a lot of kids. And we started to feel bad. Mm-hmm. And I think when we started doing that, we were just looking at it and we was just like, no. And then we said, no, we need to sit down over dinner and really go through each one and really have a conversation about each child, I guess, scenario.
Yeah, I know for me, it's like when we were going through each of those questions and initially going into this, we're thinking, hey, we're wonderful people. We're willing to share our home with a kid that needs it. And, answering those questions and going through line by line, it really, it does something to you when you really take the time to consider what type of child you have or are willing to adopt when so many parents are not given the option, So mm-hmm. It was a really eye-opening experience for us.
So just to give you some of the absolutely will consider, absolutely not. So a couple of the questions were a child that plays with fire. In 2020, Sean and I experienced a home fire, and it resulted me breaking both of my ankles. And maybe that's a video I would share too. Maybe. Mm-hmm. So fire is not an option for me. So that was a will not consider. Mm-hmm. The child could be great, but just that's trauma for me. I can. Unfortunately, I'm suffering with, I still smell smoke, and there's no smoke around. I feel like there's something burning. Mm-hmm. So I can't even imagine having someone in my house who might have access.
Potentially start a fire.
So no. Another one was so many.
A child that smokes, a child that has sex, that is sexually active, mm-hmm. a child that is attracted to the same sex, a child who is obese, a child that is required to play sports, child that is has a part-time job,
a child that this one kind of disturbed me, but a child that excessively masturbates. That was one, and they're not saying teenagers because they distinguished. One question was a teenager who's on birth control, a teenager who's not on birth control, and so when they say a child who excessively masturbates, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this a 5-year-old? So things are just going through my head. So there were things that Sean had to kind of talk me off the ledge because I'm like, I can't. Like a child that has cerebral palsy. Is that how you pronounce it? A child with Down syndrome. Autism, a deaf child, a child vision impaired. There was several that we said yes to and several that we said willing to consider, just depending on how excessive it was, I guess. But there was
how equipped we are,
right,
personally, exactly, to help. Although Children's Home Society will help give us the tools, there's some things that I just felt like I wasn't equipped, or Ronise wasn't as equipped to handle, and that's not necessarily in the best interest of the child. So.
Right. That and it bothered me, because I felt like we are good people, but like you said, there's some things that I think that we are not equipped with, like a child in a wheelchair. We have a 2-story home, so how would that work? So, those questions, if you're interested and you want to go through the process, a DSS might have those same type of questions. I'm not sure, but the questions that we had to answer, you really have to take just a step back and think about you as a person, your situation, your home, your lifestyle. Because I didn't want to feel like I can take them all in, and then when they get here, it's like, no, because you're not our goal is not to send a child back like a package.
Right.
That's not the goal. The goal is to work with whomever they put in our home, and we need to make sure that we have made the best decision possible for that child to have a successful, enjoyable life here, and for us to be able to provide that child with that lifestyle.
Right, and I really want to encourage anyone who's thinking about adopting to really, really dig deep. I know for me, I was kind of going into it like I'm buying a car. Yeah, I want a boy. I want him to be 5 years old to 8 years old, and that was it. But there's so many other things that you have to consider. You want to think about, what type of trauma the child has experienced, or if they have any different abilities that they're blessed with, and ask yourself how equipped you are to deal with those, because that's where the hard work comes in. You're doing the right thing if you're able to bless someone with a home and love them the way that they need, but you really have to dig deep. That's the first thing that was the first eye-opening experience that I had.
And then the other questions they were asking was, and this was all me. Sean was willing, but it was, do you want the child to stay in touch with their family? And for me, that answer was no. And I started feeling bad, like, why not? And I think I got into my head because I was like, I don't want the family to be coming over here telling me what to do, how to raise their child, asking me for money. So I went into all of that, and that wasn't right. And so, I had to really think about that. If the mother is in jail, the father is in jail for, stealing, but there was a good connection between the child and the mother, receiving a letter from the child's mom, who's probably never going to get out of jail, is not so bad. So I had to really think about that. There was also, if this child's coming out of the foster system, would you be willing for the child to stay in contact with the foster parents? And you have to be honest with yourself, because once you check the button and you receive that child, you're a good person. You don't want to send a child back because you didn't answer the question, honestly. So it depends on the situation. That's a conversation that I can have with the case manager. Like, where's the mother? I don't want the mother to come to my house or the family to come to my house. Those interactions I don't want. I have to be honest with myself. I want this child to be ours. I want this child to feel like, they can call us mom and dad. That's ultimately what I want. And I don't want the distraction. I don't want the confusion. And so, but when the child gets older, if the child doesn't look nothing like us, and they're asking, hey, are you really my mom and dad? Then that's a conversation that we can have at that point. But my hope is that what. You don't want to have
this ain't.
No, why are you laughing?
No, you said they don't look nothing like us. And then they ask, hey, are you really my mom and dad? But,
they might, they just might. They might, hey, I got blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
You got curly hair, so we really can't say anything about that. But, so just really, dig deep. So this week we are having our home visit. So our case manager is coming to our house. We do not know what to expect. I did ask her what to prepare for. She was like, nothing. And I was like, oh, Lord. Just make sure the house is clean. Just make sure the house is clean. So I will show you the child's space. Right now we just have a bed in there. Sean is going to put together the headboard and we have a bed and a nightstand. The headboard and the
dresser.
The dresser. The chest. Yeah.
So I got a little work to do between now and Wednesday, and we're snowed in right now. So
we are snowed in, so it might be pushed back. My hope is that it's not, because I really want to get the process started.
Yes.
So please like this video if you feel like you've learned something. We are still always open to answer questions, and we are willing to share anything throughout this process. We are going to share our visit. So thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe and like this video, and we will continue to bring you more content. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.